Hey everybody, welcome to River City Plus, the show after the show where we get to take a deep dive in some of the great conversations that are happening around town. Now, Dr. Sheila, on the show today, we got to chat about a great event that you have coming up, the Black Tie Gala, 3rd annual. That's got to make you proud that it's going strong.
Yes, very excited. We have lots of guests that are planning to come, and they are excited about coming. This is our 3rd annual gala, so we're just excited about the support that we have that's coming in for this event.
And so this really is a wonderful piece of timing for you because you're also releasing a book and you have a documentary tour that you're going to be launching soon. And something that was so interesting to me was the fact that you mentioned that it takes over $15,000 per child to be able to provide the education system that you do. Now, this includes all of the activations in the arts, in sports, in music. So a lot of different things that we want these children to be able to experience, but that comes at a cost. So how is your documentary educating people on why these opportunities are important, especially in a time when we're seeing arts funding get cut, we're seeing music getting cut left and right, and we're not seeing that financial literacy from the ground up.
So for my documentary, it provides a connection for individuals that's watching it. They should be able to see the connection that I have with education. Me growing up in the same community where my school is, them being able to see what I did not have and what I am providing to the community of students that I am today. And so the arts and academics portion in that community has been gone for a long time, a long time. So to be able to bring back, or be able to bring, excuse me, because it's never been, this is the first ever. So to be able to bring in arts, academics, STEM education, gardening, and some of the programs from that and be able to educate the community on the need for it and how it will excel children beyond high school, whether it is college or career ready when they graduate from Minds of the Future Academy. That is what this documentary will do for them. It should leave also, just the individual feeling empowered and motivated to support education, to know more about how they can be involved in education because these children are our future.
I mean, and in my thought process, I'm like, these are the people that are going to be making decisions when I'm in my Golden Girls phase of my life. Like, I want to make sure that they're prepared.
Yes.
I need someone to take care of me. That's going to
Yes.
be really important.
Yes.
And I want that future generation to be empathetic,
Yes.
to be dynamic, to be
Yes.
able to make decisions together.
Yes.
I think our generation has gone through some really interesting past few years. We've seen COVID, we've seen unfortunately a lot of war, we've seen a lot of upset. So how are you kind of trying to recalibrate that childhood for people? Because sometimes that anger and that difficulty comes from not having, which you could have easily taken that attitude, but instead you said, I didn't have this, so I'm going to make sure that it's there for
Yes.
someone who's coming in the future. So how
Yes.
did you make that transition?
Yes, and so very important. One of the things I talk about in the Educated Entrepreneur, the book, which is a little bit more detailed than a documentary because I'm able to expand my thoughts a lot more. I spend a lot of time educating the community on the importance of a STEM education. So we're used to a traditional education, and then again, like when COVID came, it pretty much just changed the trajectory of a lot of things. And so being able to educate the parents on what the statistics look like in the area, and also in addition to how STEM careers, students are graduating today in today's time without a college education, but having that career technical side of things, and they're being able to make an above of a living wage. And so those are the things that I pretty much have spent my time doing since I've been open in the community because it's something new. So you can't just drop a school and say this is what we're doing and ask people to buy in. $15,000 is pretty much what it takes to educate one particular child. That includes the curriculum, the technology, and the enrichment programs. And so we want to be able to continue providing those things for the families in the community. So I have to make sure that I'm continuously educating them on what we're doing, how we're doing it, and what the purpose of it is, and people have to see that there is a purpose.
Right.
They have to see that this is beneficial to them in some way. And so the documentary, the books, the gala, everything aligns. So people should be able to clearly see this is an impact not only to me as an adult, but also
Right.
to my child.
Yes, absolutely. And I love the fact that you're centering everything on that education and advocacy, just really being a full circle moment. Now, in terms of educating people on the differences, like, can you share that with us? Because I'm sure there's people at home who might not have even heard of a STEM education because it wasn't a thing. We got STEM and STEM now, and those were STEM on a leaf and steam out of a pot when we were growing
Yeah,
up.
a
You know,
stream and
back in my day,
Yeah.
she's 21, so she doesn't know. But you know, back in my day, like those just weren't terms that we had. So what are the differences between that STEM or STEAM education versus a traditional educational model?
So it's more so when I think of STEM and how we incorporate it, we think about programs, being able to provide programs. So I come from, and I always say I want to one day do a podcast or some interview on the difference of private, public, and charter education, because I think that's the next piece that the community and people need to be aware of. Especially with, you know, private schools coming up and charter schools coming up, there is definitely a difference. But in a private school, STEM school that we have, we're able to provide these programs. There's no lottery for children to get in. They're just able to come. Parents sign them up. And the only thing that I require is the parents agree to be a partner in their child's education with me.
This is not drop off daycare, right? Like
this is not drop
yeah.
off. Okay, so we educating students from 2 all the way to 12th grade. So you have to be a partner, and what that means is you have to be able to come into the school, you have to agree to come into the school in that particular school year and give us 30 service hours of your time. So if you can't come, send someone that loves your child just as much as you to come.
Phone a friend, find a family
Find
member,
a family
call the
member.
aunties.
We just need you to come.
Yeah.
30 hours for the entire year. Now, I've had parents that are completely engaged in what we're doing. And so we have partnered with Microsoft over the years that I've had Minds of the Future Academy. They bring in a technology piece, the coding, they do robotics, the science piece, the ecology, students learning about gardening, what that looks like. Some of the students have never even seen a garden, let alone the food that I'm eating on the table during lunch came from the garden. Like, that's important stuff for children to be able to understand at the young age. And then even some of my older students, because they're older, they need to learn how to eat healthy. And so that is the part that is very, very important. The engineering, we have gone to the robotics competition 2 years back to back and have won Best Building and Design, and giving students opportunity to create models of a Jacksport transportation center that they've never seen before. But they have to use their creative imagination and build these prototypes and be able to talk about them. So those are just some of the programs.
I was going to say, can we get them on like the city council maybe? We can like,
Yes.
is there a way we could work
Yes.
this together? Because these kids
Yes.
can probably figure out this traffic and bridge situation
And
real quick.
It has been, believe it or not, the last competition that we went to, we did have 5 city leaders from city council and community leaders to come over, because I wanted the students to be prepared before they went to the competition, and they actually gave them their presentation, shared in front of them, and they were impressed. And that was a conversation, because it was an 18-year-old student from the robotics competition that actually create a prototype to try to provide a solution to that problem with trafficking, bridges, the red lights, because there was an intersection in Jacksonville that has the most accidents. And so but this is real. So this is real. A student, 18 years old, come up with a solution for that. That's the engineering, without even going to college, and that falls under engineering. And now I'm able to, get paid for what I do, essentially.
Right.
So that's like, it's just amazing. And I'm pleased by the outcome that the students are able to bring forth. The academics, I'm a huge proponent of academics as well, because, you still have to learn some basic skills in order to be able to see through the stream education piece of it. So I'm really excited about where the students are going.
That has to make you
Yeah.
incredibly proud. Like I would just
Yeah.
be sitting in that meeting like, that's my kid. Like
Yes.
that has to make you incredibly proud. Now, how do you get the adults to listen?
So I believe that just like children, adults love incentives as well.
Yeah, we do.
We love
Rants and I,
incentives.
we like a snack, we like a treat, really like money.
We
like-
love, we love,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
like it all.
yeah.
I mean, we love incentives. And at first, people used to say, well, they should do it anyways because it's their child or
Well,
it's their
sure,
children.
everybody should.
Of course,
Everyone
we
should do the
should.
thing they're supposed
Yeah.
to do. But I think we're realist.
Yes.
And you say, okay, I'm going to ensure that my students have the support that they need. So
Yes.
how do you get the adults on the bandwagon?
So definitely, I utilize incentives. I have parent meetings often. I love parent meetings because that keeps.
I don't think I've ever. My sister's a teacher, and I know a lot of teachers. I've never heard anybody
Yeah.
say that. Would you say again?
Yeah, I love parent meetings. Yes, because that is a way to like engage them. And
Right.
I'm visual, and I want to engage you with the visualization of what's happening here. So I'm putting together like a PowerPoint pictures, and as you're coming in, like I'm showing you what's going on here at the school. And so like I think that's great. And then I think it's also about relationship. I have a relationship with my parents.
Right.
They know that they can call me, but they also understand that things are done decent and in order as well, if that makes sense. So there is a balance.
Right. Right. So it's like they know you, they can call you, they can trust you, but it's like, but there
Yes.
is respect. There is,
There,
yes.
yes.
I will listen to you, but there is an order of operations.
It is absolutely
school.
Absolutely.
So, in terms of next steps for you, how can the community support you? What would you love to see from Jacksonville, the surrounding areas, to get to that forever home that you really want for your school?
I think that all it takes, I have a few quotes that I like, but I think where I am now, the quote that is most prevalent is all it takes is one person to make a difference. And so where I am, for us to get into that forever home, it takes one person. It could be you, it could be Rance, it can be anybody that has a life fulfilling purpose to support us getting our forever home. And so what we're doing is, I just encourage people to visit my website, drsmithjacks.com, because my website ties to everything that we are doing within the school, within the documentary, the gala. It all ties together. So if you're buying a book, a portion of it goes toward our Capital Campus campaign. If you're supporting our gala, it goes to our Capital Campus campaign. If you're watching a documentary, most people watch documentaries because they're informational.
Right.
So you're learning more about who this woman is. You're learning more about this school and why it's so important, why it's such a big deal. People open schools all the time. Why is this a big deal? You're coming to watch to find out why it's such a big deal.
Well, I'm so glad that we got to find out
Yeah.
exactly why you're such a big deal, and also
Thank you.
supporting that next generation of kiddos is such a big
Yes.
deal for all of us. So thank you so much for joining us right
Thank
here on
you.
River City Plus. Now, again, I'll make sure that you guys have all the links that you need to stay connected with everything that you have going on.
Thank you.
Right here on River City Plus, and we'll be back tomorrow morning bright and early at 9:30 for River City Live.